Good morning, all of you. So welcome back to DevOps sessions. So anyone please confirm, am I audible? Okay, so let me. So today we are going to discuss two concepts. The first one is CMD versus entry point. CMD versus entry point. The Docker file, there is a CMD and entry point, right? Okay, so CMD entry point, if you can write any image from the scratch, okay, in the Docker file. So we are using CMD entry point for the execution. So, but in the distroless images, especially in the distroless images, there is no any entry point and CMD. So these distroless images are taken care by the Docker provider. Okay. Yeah, distroless images. So CMD entry point taken care by Docker providers. So, but if you write any file from the scratch, like from Ubuntu, from CentOS, whatever it is, so you need to execute the command in the Docker run, right? So at the time we are using CMD or entry point. So in the CMD entry point, as we know, CMD is what? What is CMD? Yeah, but there is a Docker run. Okay. Then in this case, entry point. Yeah, command to run project. Okay. But what is the difference between CMD and entry point? Entry point or CMD? Yes, entry point is not changeable. Okay. What about this one? In this CMD, changeable. Okay. Here it is changeable. That we can discuss now. Yeah. So this one I'm going to explain now. CMD versus entry point. So for example, guys, I'm taking this image, sorry, this file. Let's go and verify first the Docker. So vi docker file. Let me check anything is there here. Okay. mkdir cmd cd cmd. So I'm going to write a one docker file. So if you can see this docker file, what is this? The docker file, what it does? Next. Installing httpd and from the CentOS image. So CentOS image means like a Amazon Linux. Okay, it will work all the commands with the M. So for example, now if I execute this, docker build -t cmd dot. Okay, if I execute this, okay, so my docker build is executed. So if you can see, only one by one means CentOS only pulled here, but cmd part is not executed here, right? So whenever run the image, let me check the images first. My image is what? CMD. Docker run CMD. Okay, if I give, what will happen now? Docker run CMD means what will happen now? HTTP is going to install. HTTP is going to install. Why? In the CMD, vi docker file, if you can go and check, I have given m install -y httpd command. So the CMD will execute the Docker runtime, as we know, right? So guys, okay. Yeah, if you can see in my Docker file, m install -y httpd, right? So again, Docker run, if I give Docker run CentOS, sorry, CMD, if I give git here, okay, my intention is there is an argument in the Docker file, right? Argument is httpd. This is common, right? M install -y is common. If I give git, git has to install. If I give tree has to install. Like that, for example, docker run cmd, if I give a git, this argument go and insert into that my httpd argument. Okay. So while runtime, I'm changing the argument. As we know, cmd is, it can be changeable, right? It's changeable argument. So let's try. It's not taking. Why? So, no, same container, no problem. See, the thing is here, in the CMD, we have to run entire command. What is the command? M install -y git. We need to change entire command, not for only argument. Yes, see, M install -y same only, but even though we need to change, CMD will not take only argument. We have to change entire command. Again, M install -y git. M install something you have to give. Okay. And one more thing, you have to follow the same M. The Docker file, first M is there, install is there, -y is there, git is there. Okay. Now if you can see, git is installed. Okay. Git is installed. If I want to install tree, same docker run m install -y tree. Why? In my Docker file, if you can see, M install -y. And here the argument. So we need to repeat entire step for the CMD. So if I want to install tree, Docker run M install -y tree. So it is installing tree. Okay, tree is installed, right? What about Git? Git not installed in this command, right? I have given only tree. So, but I want Docker run, okay, CMD. If I give, so if I give HTTPD has to install. If I give Git, it has to install. I want like that. So CMD, it is not possible to replace the argument. It will replace entire command. But we have a solution with the entry point for this. If you want to run like this, okay, let's go. In my Docker file, okay, before that, I'm going to create a entry point, mkdir. So I'm just giving directory entry point, okay? CD entry point. Okay. So I'm going to write a Docker file. Okay. So let me copy that first. ls vi Docker file. Copy. So let's go to my ls cd entry point. So the difference is we need to observe here the small difference. So I'm going to give here in place of CMD, I'm giving entry point. Otherwise, I will just copy this one. Let's give insert. Entry point. Okay. So CMD I'm going to comment. Clear, guys? Now we can see the difference. Docker build -t ep entry point dot. Okay. Same. So first Ubuntu is pulled, and whenever run, only that inside argument, the entry point is going to execute. So if I give Docker run, okay, Docker run, what happened now? Docker run ep. If I just normal, I'm giving Docker run ep. So it is going to execute inside whatever argument is that is HTTPD, right? Okay, HTTPD is executed. Okay, HTTPD is executed. Now, if I give Docker run, Docker and EP, I mean my image name. If I give tree here, see, I'm not giving enter command m install -y tree like a CMD. Here only I'm giving argument only directly. Docker run EP tree. If I give in this entry point, it's taking time. Okay, it is installing now. Yeah, if you can see here, two things, HTTP install, tree install. Why? What is the statement of entry point? It cannot changeable, right? I mean, it cannot replaceable in the argument. It will install both. If you give tree, if you give git, existing one install plus whatever argument you are giving, that one also it is going to install. It is not replaceable like a CMD. Understand? CMD is a replaceable. Entry point is not a replaceable. Write that point, important point. Replaceable. So this one is not replaceable. Let's go now. So again, if I give git, what happened now? Install HTTPD, git. See two packages. Okay, again two packages install. So I want to run command like this, like only I'll pass only argument, but it should not install exist one. How can I write? Yeah, first one CMD is a replaceable. Yeah, we got a solution, but we need to run entire command -y also. But no, I'm not going to provide -y every time. I will give only argument. But if I give an argument, it has to install only not for existing one. How can I do it? Yeah, exactly. Entry point I can give -y. It runs same command every time, right? And CMD, I can give the argument. It will replaceable. Understand? CMD argument is replaceable. But the problem is CMD, if I give -y, I need to change every time -y. But -y, I can put in the entry point. No need to give every time, right? But in the argument, I can just maintain the CMD. So that the CMD can change every time in the whatever argument is there. It will not change -y every time. So what I'm trying to say here, let's go to my Docker file. Yeah. So insert. If I give like this way, entry point is fixed, -y. Now CMD. You can give the argument here. For example, HTTPD. Okay. If I save now, Docker build -t CMD and EP entry point also. Okay. Okay. Image pull. So now if I want to run Docker run CMD entry point, and now the point is, if it is a CMD, you need to give -y also along with that argument. If it is an entry point, it is taking the existing one also along with your argument. Now, if I give only git, this git will go into the where exactly? In Docker file, in which place? It is going to insert CMD, right? Why? In the CMD, I have given argument. So now actually in entry point, both are installing like whatever whatever you have mentioned in the, if you can see here. Yeah. See, only Git is installed. But in my Docker file, HTTP is there, right? Why HTTP is not installed? CMD is changeable, right? Replaceable. I have given argument, it is replacing with HTTP in place of Git. But same HTTP if is there in entry point, it will install HTTP also. Understand the difference here and there? So let's go here. Yeah. If I mention HTTP here in the entry point, for example, while runtime, if I give argument is different argument, Git or tree, entry point will execute existing one plus given argument. If I mention CMD everything, so every runtime, it will not replaceable only argument. We need to replace entire command in the CMD. CMD is not replaceable for only one argument. You have to change entire. So to overcome that, I have written here like this. Entry point -y is a fix. It is not replaceable. Now CMD is HTTP. So here we can change, right? If you want to, if you want Git, you can mention Git here. If you want something tree, we can mention here. So like that CMD, whatever given in the argument is go on insert here. It is replaceable. CMD not allow. For example, if I give Git na, I have given Git, right? Okay, let me explain one more command. So Docker run now tree. So only tree is installed. No Git now. Why? If you can go there again. So here the argument is replaced with the tree. Understand? So here no need to replace. Entry point is always not changeable. So if you remember, we can go to yeah. Is it clear now? Understand here? What is Python here? It's a runtime. It's a fixed, right? Your code is running on Python means we should not give here Java. Understand? So so if you want to run any code, how to execute in the Python? Python, if it is a Python, and your file name. Like Terraform init, like that. So for example, in my entry point, can I give Terraform? No, I'm not saying in here. Just example I'm saying. If I want to execute Terraform commands, in this place, entry point, I can give Terraform. And in the CMD, I can change init, plan, apply. Why? Terraform always fix in the entry point. The whatever argument it will come, it will replaceable with your action. Is this clear now? Yeah. In interviews, it's a very important concept. In interview, they will definitely ask if they want to ask any question on Docker file, there is a chance to ask the difference between CMD and entry point. Okay. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. So guys, in the Docker, two concepts are pending. Two concepts are pending. One is for volume, networks, sorry, Docker compose also. Three concepts. Docker Swarm, no need to discuss, guys. We are not using at all Docker Swarm. We are using Kubernetes. Docker Swarm, Kubernetes, both are equal. I mean, both are, it will do same job. But Kubernetes is an advanced one. Swarm is a old one. So we are not using, it's going to deprecate shortly, Docker Swarm. No need to focus on that, okay? Even Docker volumes networks also not required. Volume networks we are taking care in the Kubernetes. We are taking only image from the Docker. Everything taking care in the Kubernetes. Even though we can discuss, it's a little, if you discuss here network and volumes, we can easily understand Kubernetes concepts. Okay. And very, very important one is, so I want to discuss one thing, guys. This pipeline, copy. Okay, parameters. Let me remove not required here. Okay. So guys, we have a, is this clear, right? CMD interpret clear, right? Okay. So guys, let's go to next page. So in the Docker file, I'm going to explain little advanced one. Okay. I mean, sorry, not Docker file, Jenkins. Okay, guys. So I have a requirement now. This is my GitHub. Okay, this is my GitHub. Focus carefully, okay? Two developers are working. Okay, so in the GitHub, I have a list of files. Okay, one is for source code, one is for Docker file, one is for Kubernetes file. Okay, Docker file, source code, main things in the GitHub. Okay, why Docker file here? D1. Why Docker file is here in the GitHub? To build a image. To build a image. Okay. So my developers push their changes into source code. Okay. What you need to do? You need to build a image. The first step is clone. The first step is git clone. And next step is build image. Is this clear? Git clone is the first one. And next one is what? Docker build. So MVN, if it is a Maven related project, you can you can add into the Docker file only, the Maven also. Take a Maven image, multi-Docker file we discussed, right? From builder, and we can copy from hyphen from the first stage one like that. So okay, anyway, otherwise we can add one more stage like MVN install in between. Okay, let's better to add MVN install otherwise. So MVN install. If it is a Maven project, and next one is Docker build. Is this clear, guys? Next, push to ECR or Docker Hub registry. Push to ECR, right? And next step is what? Where to pull? This is not git pull, git push, okay? This is not git push, guys. Okay. Next is what? Okay, your image is ready, right? Next, who will come? Deployment, right? This is entire part is what, guys? Very good. This is entire part is integration. I mean, why I'm explaining this thing? If I give any project, again, sir, can you explain one more time? These questions I'm not going to expect from you. Okay. I'm explaining project also parallelly. Okay. I mean, if I give any project, don't surprise at the time. This is integration. Okay. What about deployment? Deployment part is pending. So we need to discuss Kubernetes, right? Okay. What is the source for deployment? Let's deployment. Okay. My deployment is Kubernetes. Okay. Tell me guys, what is the source of Kubernetes now? Image. Where it is? Easier. But your AML files are where? AML files means deployment data AML service data. At least you know what is that, right? In Kubernetes, we already discussed. So we have to deploy our image into Kubernetes deployment data AML. To give access, we need to add into the service. That we know, right? So where is my AML files? Where is my AML files? Leave it for Argo CD and all. We can discuss later. Whatever deployment, it is a Jenkins or Argo CD. Source code. Let's go. Yeah. If you can see here, this is Docker file to deploy your source code. What is this? This is the one, right? To deploy your YAML file into, so deploy your image into YAML file, you have to write YAML files first. That YAML files we are maintaining in the source code. I mean, sorry, in the same repository. Understand what I'm trying to say here? So this image is there, right? This image is source of your Kubernetes. Try to understand. If you are unable to understand here, it's very difficult concept. And leave it, just this is for service to give access. Just leave it for this time. So deployment means what? So you need to deploy your application. Your application is there in the image format. It is in the ECR now. That image, if you want to deploy in any EC2 instance or anywhere, we are working here on the Kubernetes. So here pods will come, not EC2 instances, right? How many pods depends on your replicas. So two pods. Where is your source? This image is source is where? ECR. But my YAML files are there in GitHub. Then who can update? Understand what I'm trying to say? So this is my image, guys. This is my image. Now your ECR, if you run anything here, I will show you here. Let's come now. This is my repository name. So these many builds are there, images. So now you tell me, guys, my Kubernetes files, one image is there. First time you have added image. That image, for example, V1 version. Understand? Now developers are push the some changes into source code. Some changes, some offer. For example, there we have some offer in the Diwali. So that accordingly they have modified the code and push into here source code, GitHub. What you need to do next? What you need to do now? Hmm? Your integration has to trigger, right? Of course, it has to trigger. How it will trigger? How it will trigger automatically? Jenkins only. How it will trigger? Exactly. Webhook concept. If any event will be happen in the GitHub, that event may be creators, developers. Immediately your integration pipeline will run, right? Okay, your integration pipeline is run. Git clone, again Maven install, again Docker build, push to ECR. Okay, so previously this version is V1. Now tell me what happened now? Same image will update or new image will create? Same image, old changes. Is it clear or not? I mean, image name is same, but inside updates will be there or not? Updates will be there means same version you can continue or different version? Different version. Same version is old changes, new version is a new updates. Okay, this time is just assume V2. Understand? Now you tell me where I need to change V1 to V2. Yes, easier is push the latest image. The tag is V2. Now you have to deploy into your Kubernetes again, right? Where is your source of the Kubernetes now? Yes, easier is updated, but where is my files of the Kubernetes? In GitHub, right? But here, which version is there? Who can update V2 here? Understand? My question is here. My deployment is always sync with your YAML files, which is there in your GitHub. But my YAML files are V1 version. But V2 already updated by developers. Already you have pushed ECR image into ECR also, or your GitHub, or your Docker hub. But you have to update this image. This is the latest image version, right? Otherwise, your Kubernetes always work with your old image version. But how we can update? Understand my question or not here? Tell me. CMD. CMD, I'm talking about version image. Changes in YAML, very good. We have to change in YAML, right? We don't have any option. Yeah. So changes manually into your GitHub YAML files. So if I go here, yeah. So this is, for example, 50 tag is means what? 50 times ran your Docker build, 50 changes. If next 51 time it will come 51 here, 52. Like the tag will update recent versions. So here my, if 51 build is run, but still it here 50 only. What I need to do? I need to update the image, copy paste there from ECR and come here, change it here. Then my Docker, my Kubernetes will updated image, it will deploy into your containers. Pods. Understand? So this process is, can we do it automate? Kubernetes should always take the latest from ECR. Yes, it will not take from ECR. It will take from in the form of YAML files. My YAML files are there in GitHub. Your ECR updated with the latest image, but that image you have to take into Kubernetes means, but YAML files are there in the Docker, GitHub. We need to update, right? We can update as the latest. Might be through some script. YAML, yeah. Yes, you are right. At least you got some point. Okay, we need to update this YAML file. That is our agenda, right? So guys, in the Jenkins itself, we can handle this. We have a sed command in Linux, sed command. Okay, if you can go to Google, Linux sed command use. The Linux sed command lets you find, replace, insert, and delete lines. If there is a file, if you want to replace with that file with any name, or if you want to insert, if you want to delete anything, the sed command we are going to use. So for example, guys, you have created a file one. Yes, this is little advanced one. Try to understand. Even though no problem, leave it. Okay. I mean, no one will test like this way in this depth. But nowadays interviews are not easy. So that's what make it ready yourself. For example, here, hi, hello, welcome. I have one file. Now sed command, if you can give sed command. So the file one is this one, right? In the file one, if I give hi, some hello, or whatever you can. Okay, hello, file one. If you give like this way, your sed command replace with hi with hello. I mean, it's a just single statement. By using set command, we can change or insert or delete anything in the file. Understand? If you want to replace something into file, if you want to find something, set command we are going to use. So by using set command, I'm going to replace my image in the GitHub YAML files. Understand? Someone has to replace your image, right? I'm taking help of set command here. So this set command will take the source from ECR and change it into the target. So set command requires source and target. Understand? So same thing, it will take the request from the ECR, any update will be there, immediately it will replace into your GitHub. Is this clear? So now I'm going to show you pipeline script. You try to understand. It will take some time, I know, but try to understand. The first one is, guys, so environmental variables. I think already we discussed. What is environmental variables? Instead of calling directly your credentials and whatever it is, we are using environmental variables. For example, my account ID, credentials of account ID means what? Let's go log in my Jenkins now. Okay. So public IP 8080. Okay, guys, if you can see here, this is my pipeline. This is my pipeline. So if you can see here, I'm calling ENV, environments. Means what? We need account ID, we need ECR repo name, we need region, we need repository URI. Why? These are all related to ECR only. So if you can take a ECR path, let's go to ECR. This is my demo one, right? This is the path, right? Actual path. There in my GitHub. Copy it. Just paste it here. Yeah. If you can see, this one comes under where? Account ID. Your account ID in ECR path, first one is account ID. Let's go and check here. This is 48321, right? 48321. First one is account ID. And is there any variable? Let's go and check again. Okay. See how to pass here my account ID. This is my account ID, right? Instead of hard coding, I'm calling account ID. I will explain, wait. And here the region, see here, there is a region is variable right here. If it is AP South one, maybe. Okay. I can variable add this one. And what is this one? This one is what? Yes, repo name. My repo name is demo. Okay. So how I can manage this entire one into variabilize? So first account ID is required, right? Account ID you can pass in credentials and call that. Understand how to pass account ID in credentials? Let's go there. Manage Jenkins. Where should I go? Credentials. So let's go here. Already I have passed. Again, I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to add account ID here. How can I add account ID? Account ID is the name. Value is account ID value. So which one I can select here? AWS credentials means access key, secret key. But Git repo, that is not a username, right? Account ID is a name, not a username and password. So this time we can take a secret text only. Okay, my secret text means here, come here and give my account ID. Why? In your easier account ID is the first one. Give into secrets. What is ID? Account ID. Clear? Account ID is done. So if you want to add any account ID in your GitHub, sorry, in Jenkins file, no need to hard code it. What we can do, call this credentials of account ID. Understand? Credentials of account ID, credentials of Git, credentials of Docker, credentials of Sonar. We can call like this. Understand? Okay, let's come now again. See, you can give any name here, but you have to call exact. So whatever name I have given here, account ID, right? So let's copy this one, Control C, Control V. Sorry. Tell me what I need to change here. Anything changes required here? Here. What name I have given? Account ID lowercase, right? What is the meaning? My AWS account ID is credentials of account ID. In my credentials section, I have added account ID with the name of this account ID. Understand? I'm calling these credentials now. No need to hard code every time. I'm just calling env variables. Let's go there. See account ID. I'm calling credentials of account ID. I mean, whenever you have to write account ID, instead of that, you can write credentials of account ID. It is a difficult right to write a credentials of account ID also every time, right? That's what I'm mapping into one name account ID. I mean, I'm just giving variable here. Every time it's very difficult to write credentials of account ID, credentials of account ID. I just variabilize this one. If you call AWS account ID means credentials of account ID. Is this clear? Any questions here? Yeah, lowercase, exactly. So I'm just removing this one now. Is this clear? First step is clear? Yeah. Next one is what? Come here. In your hard-coded repo also there, right? Region also there. So how to give repo name? ECR repo name? ECR repo name. So I need, instead of hard coding my repo name, I need to same pass into credentials. How to pass it? Repo name. Credentials. Let's go there again. Add credentials. Tell me this time what I need to select. Secret text only. Very good. Same. Give your repo name here. My repo name, for example, demo. Okay. Give demo. ID here you can give ECR repo. Understand? Credentials of ECR repo means actual values demo. That is your repository name. Inside repository only images will be there, right? In ECR. Okay. If I create now, see ECR repo is created. But actually, what is the value of the ECR repo? Demo. How to call here? Same. Credentials of ECR repo. But actual value is what? Your repo name, AWS-ECR repo name is what? Demo. This is meaning of demo. Placing credentials of ECR repos are difficult, so I'm going to variabilize with this name. I mean, wherever the repo name you have to configure, simply I can give this name. This name is map with credentials of ECR repo. This credentials already I have configured in my Jenkins ECR repo. Is this clear? Okay. AWS default region. Region, if you want to make it variabilize, how can you do it? Same thing. Region also. What we can do? Region is hard coded here, right? So how I can make it as ENV? Credentials of region. In the region place, you can give secret text region US East 1. Credentials of region and AWS default region. Understand? Okay. Now tell me guys, this is your repository URI, right? Actual repository URI. So here, if you observe clearly, what I did here, first one is what? So my repository URI equal to dollar. I'm calling my account ID. If you're calling, use that dollar. Dollar AWS account ID means in this place, what will come? 48326680. This is common. There is no variable. Next one is what? Region, US East 1. And next one is what? Amazon.com. First time there is no repo. Okay, next if you run, this will add into that. I mean, whenever the update will come, it will come along. Okay. Okay, so whenever I just configure here, next one is what? As we know, git clone. Next one is what? Docker build. Next one is what? Image push to ECR. If you observe here, this one. First one is what? Let's go and check every time. Go to ECR now. This is my demo image, right? If you check the push commands, what is the first command? Login. In this place, if you observe, hard-coded values are there, right? So 48321 is account ID. What I can do? Dollar, Culbras, AWS account ID. And next, region. Okay. Okay. If you can come now here. So only region I can pass and here repository URI. The repository URI means it will come everything. Okay. Next tag. Tag means what? Tagging to your image, right? So what is my image name? AWS underscore ECN underscore repo name, right? That is credentials of your repo name. I mean here image will come. Repository URI means what? Okay. So repo name and here I'm giving following some build number. I'm writing build number. Build number means what? Every runtime one build number will generate. Understand? First run, number 1, second run, 2, third run, 3. You can consider this is a version. Every build time, one number will is going to add, that is a version. Understand? Now Docker push to where? Repository URI and this, I mean, if you can see, you can clearly understand. First one is repository URI till here, right? And next one is what? Image. So repo name, it will take from image and following the builder number. I mean, here it can add 1 or 2 or 3 like that. If you can go into my GitHub, see 50, 51, 52, it is going to add. Each run, there is a version. Understand? Now the main point is, this is the main point now. Yeah, this is the main point. So you tell me guys, yeah, till here clear? Just env variables only. Now you need to, whatever the run, generated a new version. That new version you want to update into your GitHub. Understand? Now GitHub process will come. So we need to update that image path with this easier new repo. I mean, new build number. Let's go now. So I'm going to write a stage. The stage is update deployment.file. Here I'm just giving environment variables again. The Git repo name is my Git repo name, this one. I mean, where my YAML files are there, Kubernetes YAML files. And my username of my GitHub. So my YAML files are there. Project one, Maven Jenkins CI/CD Docker EKS. This is, so if you want, if I say to update YAML file, means you can ask what is the question, first question, where is your repository? Give your credentials. I will log in, I will update. Is it clear? So same thing I'm giving to them, to Jenkins. This is my repository name. Inside my YAML files will be there. So this is my username. You just go inside. What is this? So my YAML files are there inside directory. So same thing we have done in Terraform, right? So we have a multiple directories are there. If you want to call specific directory, you should write dir like a CD. So okay, my YAML files are there where? Here inside. If you go inside, I'm saying that this is my deployment is svc.yaml. Here you can change your image. Understand? Let's go now. Okay, if you can see here, you can easily understand except this step remaining are. I will explain this step. What are the remaining steps? Okay, go inside Kubernetes manifesto file and with credentials of string credentials ID, GitHub, variable Git token. What is GitHub here? GitHub credentials is required to log in, right? So I have given GitHub credentials, same like env. So if you can come now here, these are my GitHub credentials. I'm calling these credentials. And why token is required? Why token is required? GitHub token. Okay, anyway, I will explain here. Okay, the first one is changed into giving GitHub credentials ID and variable is Git token. Just park aside for Git token. I will explain. What is the next step? What is this step? You forget, na? This one is global configuration, right? The first time if you are handling the Git, we have to give your email ID, give your name, right? Yeah, I have given these two steps. And next step is what? Builder number. I mean, sorry, build number. Build number means it has to call from the ECR which build number. I'm just mentioning here. So I'm going to print the build number. If it is a 50 or 51 or 30 or 32 from ECR. Just leave this command now. Why git add here? Git commit here? Git push here? Why? Understand? So if I say to change something in your GitHub, if you do changes manually, it can ask commit, understand, commit and make it changes. So if it is in the local, in the GitHub, what you need to do? Git status, you do some changes, right? Git status, the changes is in image. Git add, git commit, git push. Then only changes will reflect into your YAML file, right? Same thing I'm mentioning here only. Git add, git commit, git push. Git push time, it will ask what? Git push time. Is it possible to push every repository? No. Access is required to push, right? So that push time, we have two options. SSH-keygen, update private key into GitHub. Private or public? In GitHub, private or public key? Public key. Okay. We can do it. Otherwise, what is GitHub? GitHub token will work? How GitHub token will work? Let's go to Git now. Read this. Using GitHub token also we can push the changes, right? How we can do it? Generate a token. That token add into your set URL origin, but no need to set URL origin. Already I'm in the existing GitHub repository. This is not new one. So to push time, you just add this token here and give your username, give your repository. If you can see in the step here, git push HTTPS, see here, git token I'm giving. Understand? Git token and again github.com, your username, your repository name, and push to main branch. Understand the scenario here, everything? So if you do some modification in your GitHub, you need to add the changes, commit the changes, push the changes. In that case only it will update, right? Otherwise it will not update. Understand? These are all commands. Sir, can I give directly git push? Try it. You will get an error. Authentication issue. So to overcome that authentication issue, again manual process. What you need to do again? Generate SSH key. Where you are running this, script, that server public IP. Take the public IP and add into your GitHub repository. Then you can give git push directly, it will go. That option also it will work out. But I'm using GitHub token. So generate a GitHub token, configure into credentials, make it a variable, call that variable. Understand? So this step is equal to, if you can see here, is there any difference here? Let's control C this one also. Control V. Is there any difference? The above step and below step? In place of token, this is the token one, right? I have updated my token only. And next, github.com. Your username, git username. I have configured credentials. Repository, I have configured credentials. So this is head main means push to head main. I don't know where I am in the branch at the time. So head main. Understand? Yes, I don't have any issue to discuss little advanced topics, but how you can receive, that is a very important one. Okay. So small example, guys. If I discuss like this concept, if you understand, well, if you're not understand what you can think, I'm unable to understand Veera's lecture. If I not cover this one, simply I can close it. Simply Jenkins pipeline run. Okay. Maybe 2-3 students can ask, sir, how to automate this task every time? That is very important, right? But every student can understand manually we can run, but in real time manually no one can run. Everything is automated. Understand? If you learn anything, learn in that level. Same thing. I appreciate 2-3 people ask, sir, Ansible dynamic inventory required. How we can add? We are done, right? Recently, some drive is happened, right? Recently, Naresh, some drive is happened. 4 students selected. 4 students, my students only. Okay, very good company. The first question is, dynamic inventory file configuration. They ask the first question, how to write a dynamic inventory. I know interviewer ask this say same question. I know little difficult question for you. You are a fresher. Just I'm checking where you are in the Ansible. 4 people say the same answer. They ask, did you work in Ansible dynamic inventory? You said fresher, right? No, I work already. First question only one person selected, only dynamic inventory. Interviewer surprised with his answer. You are a fresher. Where did you work in dynamic inventory configuration? Just I want to know your knowledge in Ansible. That's what I ask little advanced question to you, but you easily say the answer. The things is like that. If you say, I don't know dynamic inventory, I just added manual here and there, they will ask second question. Okay, I can agree he's a fresher. They can start second question, third question, fourth question. But the question, the way you are giving answer, the interviewer definitely will decide, will not ask any question to him. At least he's up to mark now. They can easily take. Understand? Here also, if you explain one flow here, let's come now here. If you can see the architecture, whatever I have prepared here. Okay, Rayo. Yeah, if you can see the flow, if you can see here, the first flow will go where to where? Jenkins to GitHub source code. And here to Node.js, otherwise Maven whatever project. Now code quality check, Sonar Queue. Next dependency check, I will explain. Docker, image scanner, push to ECR. Again, it is go to where? This is GitHub, guys. Go to GitHub again. Where it is going to GitHub? Your YAML files. Understand? It is updated. See, whenever developers push the changes, automatically this flow has to done. Whenever CA is updated, I mean, continuous integration is updated. The YAML files is you need to deploy, right? So my deployment also ready with the Argo CD. It is deployment into front end, back end database. This is the Prometheus to metric configurations to verify how many pods are running, the pods load, nodes load, and everything. This is the EFK stack to check my pods if there is any failure to check the logs. So this is SVC Nginx controller load balancer DNS users. So we are here now. If you are able to understand this concept, simply we can go next deployment part. This project, no need to explain. You can easily understand it at that time. No surprise at that time. That's what before I'm explaining this concept to you. How to push the changes directly into the GitHub. Understand? Yeah. Any questions now here? So let's go and run this first. Okay, I'm going to changes. Any duplicates are there here? Okay, this is different name. This is different name. No problem. Okay. Let's go to my dashboard and Docker Jenkins. So here, no configurations, only credentials only. Before that, you need to install plugin Docker ECR. That we already done, right? Yeah. Let's go to configure. Now come to set command. Okay. Control C. This is my set command. Set -I, S means source, image. So if you can go to your GitHub now. What is your source? First one is image. Okay, this image, I mean, this is key name, not value. And this is key value. Understand? Key name, key value. This is what? Key name. The value is what? Star any image, dot star any image, whatever it is there in that. I don't have any problem. Replace with my this target. Understand? So whatever image is there, I don't have any issue here. You can replace with this. This is the value of my image. Understand? This is the value of my image means you just understand. Repository URI means your ECR repository URI. Following by what? Your repository name. Following by your build number. One time, second time, third time. I'm calling. Understand? Where set command has to perform this task? In this deploy svc.yaml. Understand? So image, let's go there. This image, okay, it has to change with the repository URI. So if you can go my ECR, yeah, if you can go with my ECR, let's close this one. Every run one number is going to add here. It has to call this number. If it is has to call this number, you need to add the argument in that bill number, dollar. Understand? So let's go to your repository. If you can see here in the demo repository, first one is what? This is entire, can I say URI? And this one is repository name and colon bill number. Same thing we have mentioned here. Okay, repository name. This is the my value you have to copy paste here. Where in deploy svc.yaml. Okay, so in this source image, in this deploy.svc YAML file, there is an image section. In this image section, you need to change it into from my ECR repository. If 52 will come, you need to replace with the 52. 53 will come, replace with the 53. Like that, you need to do it. Understand? Let's go on run. So try to practice in your run. Any questions we can discuss. This is not a completed in one day. Maybe in your case, it will take some time. Try to understand each and every step. Take 2-3 days time, no problem to complete this one. Okay. Okay. For example, apply save now. So I'm going to run now. Build with parameters. Okay, not required this parameter. Let's go and configure. I'm going to remove that parameter part now. And same thing, I'm going to orchestrate in one Jenkins YAML file, right? Okay, I will discuss. Let me run this one. May you confuse again if it's say that. Okay, apply and save. Why it is asking again? Okay, anyway, just give any number. This is not required in your case. Let's come out. Let's go to configure. Save. Go to configure again. So here there is no any version. Sorry, API version. Here also we can remove this one. Save and apply. Let's come to dashboard. It is coming again build with parameters. Okay. Okay, okay. Anyway, just give any number. This is not related to your thing. So if you can see my ECR repo is what? The recent changes demo and the version is 50. Only 50. Yeah, uncheck, correct. Okay, it is done, right? Updated deployment file. So now let's go to check ECR first. Refresh this one. 51. Developers pushed some changes into source code. Updated version is 51. This is updated version image. Now go to YAML file. Refresh this one. 51 is updated. Understand? So no need to change anything, right? This is already configured with your Argo CD. Argo CD will start deployment immediately. Whenever changes here come, your Argo CD source is this one. In my YAML files, any changes will come immediately deploy pods. Understand? So everything is interlinked here. Source lo changes. If any changes will come in a source code, build will come. After build push is here. After push update YAML file. Whenever update YAML file, your Argo side is linked with here as a shown here. Okay. Where is this architecture? Yeah, here. Whenever changes will come into GitHub, immediately Argo CD will sense these changes, deploy the pods. Everything is automated right here. No manual process. Again, any developers push the changes anyway, immediately it will run the integration part. Whenever integration done, here changes will come in my YAML files. Whenever YAML file changes will come, Argo CD will trigger the pods, create a pod. This is entire end-to-end process. So in this Argo CD, we can add Jenkins also again as a Jenkins as a deployment. Understand? That can also we can see. Okay. And guys, we have a one plugin, Blue Ocean. Okay, if you can go in manage Jenkins, if you can install open Blue Ocean, let's go to manage Jenkins. So I'm saying only one thing, guys. Yes, maybe if it is a little difficult, take your own time and complete it. At least if you take 1 week also, I don't have any problem, but you have to complete this process. If you complete always you are up to mark with the Jenkins and integration, you can easily understand the requirement. If any project, any team lead, if they explain in a requirement, you can easily understand if you can do like these activities. Then you don't know at that time how to automate. ChatGPT also will not give help anything in that scenario. You have to create it. Then related scenario, it will give the solution. Okay. Okay. In the plugins, if you can go available plugins, you can give here Blue Ocean. Okay, my case is installed, I think so. In your case is available, Blue Ocean. The dashboard is little good. Blue Ocean, if you install means, if you can see here on the Jenkins, it will come Blue Ocean. We can trigger here also the pipeline. See here. Okay, here also we can do it, the task. If you click on this here, it will show your cloning, Maven, Docker build, image push to ECR, update deployment, YAML like that. Okay, we can restart update deployment YAML also. So if I want to run again, we can run input required. What input is this? Is version input. And I didn't uncheck, right? So you can give, it will start. So we can see the logs, every log here. If you want to check install, you can check here. We can see the every log here only directly. No need to go console output every time. Whenever the changes here, what Docker build is going on, we can see here, click the Docker build logs here. We can see the Docker. First mkdir running, copy, everything we can see here parallelly. Okay. If I want to run only specific stage also, we can run. Click on the stage, we can run. No need to run every stage. Sit done. Clear? This is Blue Ocean plugin. If you want to work with, just you can see the console output here very clear. And just 2 minutes. Yesterday, one person is pinging me that related some doubt here. Yeah, Docker Jenkins in the Docker build. Guys, in the Docker build here, if you observe here, first one is what? What it will remove? Even guys, we should not run any Docker run here. Just only build image only, right? You should not run actually. Just I'm saying that if you want to check, you can run this one. But this is not, we need to mention anywhere. Just simple Docker rm-docker ps-aq. If any containers are running, we can remove everything. So build a Docker build. That's it only. Okay. Yeah. Is this clear, everyone? Any questions here? So if this one run here, anything happen? Control X. If I run this one, what happened? we'll get an error. Build is in last stage, but you're trying to run a container. Where is my build? So take this build again, update here. Now any error will come. Your container will run or not with this syntax. Hmm? If I run this, am I able to access my container from the external? Why? Okay, this one is existing, it will delete. You are going to run a new image. You are going to run a container and again remove all. You are creating, you are removing. Understand here? Yeah. So here we can plan like that. Simply we can use, you can remove the Docker run is not required. If you want to test only Docker run here, so we can plan here Docker build. So this one, okay. We are not running any containers, right? If you want to delete any running containers, we can leave. Otherwise, leave this one also. Fine, this one. This two is fine. Okay, we are going to build image only, not run anything. Clear? Like that, we can do changes here. Yeah, we cannot access from browser. Is this clear, everyone? So if you want to test, so you can go to here, Kubernetes manifest ML. Let's give here the Docker Jenkins file to you. So if you are able to do this practice, you are almost done 50% of the project. What I'm going to do next is focus is deployment only. Okay. CA job. Okay, that's all for today, guys. So tomorrow we'll start Docker volumes and networks. Okay, then we can start for Kubernetes.